Okay, so here we go. We got two Ambassador reels here sitting side by side. The first one here on the right, Wayne's already been repaired. We had somebody write in and said that they had a problem with their line guides. I'll spin this one and show us what the problem is. When you spin it, the line guide does not move back and forth. And that happens a lot on any type of bait casting reels. We're using one of these rounder, bigger reels for ease of example here. But notice how that line guide is not going back and forth. And an easy way to know that is if you're not noticing it when you're fishing, all of a sudden your line will be on one side of the spool. I don't know if you can tell. But see how it gets on one side, and when you cast it, it'll just stay in its place, and then sometimes it'll go back and forth, and sometimes it won't. This one's been repaired, but we're going to show you how to make this fixed right now. All right, Wayne, so what's the parts here we need to do to fix this line guide to go back and forth again?
This is your line guide.
Right.
This is the worm gear under here.
Okay.
That's where your little pawl runs back and forth in that. Now, this is your pawl cover. We're going to take this thing off.
Okay.
And we're going to put a new pawl in there. There's the old pawl.
Oh, I see. So what happens? That gets damaged? Can you show me that?
It just wears out on the little prongs wear out and the side wears out right there.
Okay.
So then now we put a new one in there. And
that little pawl runs up and down that worm gear, makes it go back and forth?
Right, that's what makes your line guide go back and forth. It'll fit right in them slots right there.
Okay, I see them now.
You see them slots?
Mm-hmm. Point to it with your little tool before you do it.
All right.
The little slots.
The little thing got little slots in it, little grooves in it.
Okay, I see.
Off the full length of it. Now you put your new pawl in. Like that.
That reel seat's trying to get in my way.
The reel seat's getting in your way. All right, we just fit that little bugger down in there like that. And then you just take your finger and make sure it's in there good, because if it's in there good, your line guide immediately start going back and forth.
Okay, now it's working, right.
Right. Now, we just put the cap back on. And you got your line guide in your Ambassador. Your newer reels, you got to take your reel all to pieces, because you can't get your pawl cover off on account of this. If you look at this right here, your pawl cover won't screw off on account of that. Your new reels is quite a job to put a pawl in, but it's really not hard for somebody that works on reels all the time. But you take it off and the springs fly everywhere, then you got a problem.
Right, okay. So, but if you got an older bait caster, you can get to them normally.
Yes, sir, you can get to them.
And then some of these round ones, okay.
Most of the old Quantums and Ambassadors and Shimano's, you can get to it without taking anything apart. Now, if you go replace the worm gear, that's something you got to take the end off.
Right, we'll maybe do that next time. So pick it up now. Let me make sure it works. Put it down. Flip the reel over a little bit. So there you go.
And like I say, you can tell now that your worm gear is okay.
Because it's going back and forth, your line guide. Right. Now, Wayne, what happens if you're fishing and all of a sudden you notice your line's on one side and they keep putting pressure on it? Isn't that how you end up tearing up the worm gear also?
That's how you might tear your worm gear up. Because once that thing, like your fish is going one way and it won't, and you're reeling, and if that little pawl is wore enough, it'll jump up on top of that worm gear and cut a groove in it. Then you've ruined your worm gear.
And the pawl.
And the pawl. The pawl is already wore out, so you done ruined your worm gear then.